If you're thinking of building an electric guitar from scratch, there's a good chance you're going to have to glue some parts together. Whether you're going to be using a 3-part body, a 2-part top, or even a laminated neck, you'd want something like a jointer to have straight edges before gluing. We'll take a look at an easy solution using an old handheld electric planer. We'll do it step by step, and I'm pretty sure by the end you'll see the benefit of this tool. So stay with me. Let's build some guitars. Hi, I'm Yoav, and this is the Electric Luthier. And today we'll take an old bulky handheld electric planer and convert it into a jointer fit for guitar building. A lot of us don't have the budget or the space for a full-size jointer planer or even a bench top one. On the other hand, we still want to have straight edges when we glue the parts of the guitar together. As with any task, there's always the old-fashioned way of using a hand planer and a straight edge. And it's a valid solution, but it takes a lot of meticulous work. We're going to be looking at another solution. When it comes to guitars, we have to look at the size of the lumber we're going to be using. Considering that even if you're building a through neck, you're not going to need anything longer than like a 110 centimeters, which is roughly 43 inch, and probably nothing wider than a guitar neck. With the size of the lumber we're going to be using in mind, I think we can keep it fairly simple and relatively small. That's what we're going to be covering today, so if you like what you're hearing so far, please hit the subscribe button and the bell button beside it so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. And do check our website where we have tons more information for the aspiring luthier. So I found this 30-year-old Ryobi planer, and it still works, and I think with a little bit of cleaning and maybe we'll need to sharpen the knives, it should do just fine. This is an old model, but the equivalent can be found on Amazon for $50 and up, and I'll link that below. Gladly, I also found the bracket that is meant to hold it upside down. Otherwise, I'd have to create one. Of course, this part will differ from one model to another, but essentially what we're going to do is stable it somehow upside down and add a fence that's going to be exactly 90 degrees. Other additions can include a more comfortable switch, especially if you're not planning to still use it as a hand planer, and an easy attachment to the table or wherever you're going to be storing it. It seems I have a few points I can attach the parts to the planer, and what I really need are 3 main parts: the base, the side wall for connecting it, and the fence, which will have to be a bit thicker than I wanted because of this indent. I can see that the blades would really love a bit of sharpening, but that's for a whole other video. I'll look for longer screws on one side so I can later attach any spacer I need, and the side wall. The base is pretty straightforward. I'm going to make it a bit wider and longer than necessary for stability and for making it easy to clamp or screw to any surface I'll be putting it on. The 2 pre-made holes in the bottom will give a good connection to the base, and I'll make a couple more on the side for connecting the side wall. The side wall is really the only tricky part. First, I'll take a piece of cardboard to mark all the holes for the screws, and a larger one for a vacuum I might be attaching later. I will try to use any original threading on the planer to attach it firmly, and may add some reinforcement if I find it to be wobbly. I'm trying to make the wall parallel to the planer, so a few spacers may be in order. I'll then attach the fence to the side of the wall using a laminated piece of scrap for better smoothness. And I'll also make the fence a bit longer, just for a bit more stability when I put the lumber through. The screws will have to be countersinked, and I'll be checking for a perfect straight angle, which is kind of the whole point of the jig. Since I'm not planning on detaching the planer, I will also have it permanently pressed with a strong Ziploc band and remove the access cord and install a nice comfortable switch for quick and easy shut off. You can use any inlet that has a switch if you don't want to cut the original cord. I didn't build a guard for this one, but if you're not familiar with the jointer or electric planes, I must give you a word of warning. Actually, 2 words of warning, one from the image I'm about to show you. This happened to a friend of mine who has years of experience with tools. One wrong move, one slip up, and a lot of pain and blood. These fast rotating blades can easily shave off a finger or an elbow and should be used with great care. Of course, eye, mouth and ear protection are also advised. That's pretty much it. I can now easily have straight planed edges for all my gluing purposes and more. Necks, bodies and laminates, here we come. That's it for now. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell button so you don't miss our up and coming videos. If you want more information about building electric guitars, downloadable scale charts, and tons more articles, check out the links below and come visit us at theelectricluthier.com.